Let's Shoot with Pete Chatmon is a podcast on directing for anybody that's quite simply ever watched anything. Pete converses with a wide range of fellow directors, writers, actors, showrunners, producers, executives, and more on a journey to determine just what makes a good director and why we'll always need stories. The Director is Pete Chatmon's digital studio, built on the pillars of craftsmanship that ensure a unique vision. I'm talking about story, innovation, perspective. Learn more about The Director, and better yet, get your official Director's Chair wear by visiting www.drctr.video. That's drctr.video.
All right, what's up, people? Welcome to a little special promo episode of Let's Shoot with Pete Chatmon. It has been, admittedly, a while. I'm looking here at my records, and episode 29 with Brian Edward Hill, which was titled On the Writer's Journey from Screenplays to Novels to Comic Books. That bad boy dropped on May 12th, and that was about the last time that I sat down and recorded a podcast. I am excited to get back and up and running and going in 2022 to continue season 2. But things got crazy. I want to talk to y'all about my book, which will be, it's available for pre-order. This is going to drop on the day before New Year's, day before New Year's Day. But the book itself will be coming out January 3rd or 4th. It's on pre-order on Amazon, and it'll go out to you immediately. I think some people have actually gotten copies, but that's another combo. What I want to talk about right now is kind of what happened in the interim, and then we'll dive into a quick overview on the book, which I hope you'll support. But after May 12th, I headed to, my wife and I got out and we went to Hawaii like everybody else seemed to be doing at that time of year. It was the only place that you could really travel as an American and travel safely. And so we did that, got a little R&R. We were pregnant with our daughter. And then I went to New York to direct 2 episodes of Love Life. Love Life Season 2, I directed episode 202 called Paloma, and episode 204, which was entitled Ola Adebayo. And those are available now on HBO Max. It's been voted one of the year's best shows. Shout out to all involved, Sam Boyd for creating it, Rochelle Williams for co-show running and bringing me on, Bridget Bedard for EPing, and I had a great time on that show. So that was my May into July. And then in July, or from July into August, I was in Atlanta doing 2 episodes of a new show entitled Long, Slow Exhale, which will be out in 2022, I'm not sure when, but that starred Rose Rollins and Josh Lucas and a bunch of other very talented actors. Took place in the world of college basketball and followed a murder and a sexual assault case. Very bit of a different spin, and I got to work a different dramatic muscle and shoot in Atlanta. And then after that, I returned to LA, shot episode 8, 10, so the 10th episode of the final season of Blackish, which I feel will be, I think it's 13 total episodes. And then I did 2 episodes of Always Sunny in September into October. And then in November, I did episode 205 of The Flight Attendant. So I don't know if that's an excuse, but it's just really an update on what's been going on. All of the things that I learned on those shows, I will be, of course, bringing back to you in interviews and conversations and craft episodes as we can continue season 2. And the really big news is that my wife and I, Kelly McCreary, had a baby girl named Indigo. And that's been the new adjustment in learning how to learning how to manage time, learning how to think ahead, and learning how to learn more about this little precious, beautiful angel every day of her life. So it's been fun. And that got even more time challenged because at the end of this year, I took on a co-executive producer / director position on a new show coming from Hulu entitled Reasonable Doubt, which is produced by Kerry Washington's company, Simpson Street, and Larry Wilmore's Wilmore Films. It's through a new initiative called The Onyx Collective, which is spearheaded by Tara Duncan. And the showrunner is Ramla Muhammad, who was a guest on the pod earlier. So go back and listen to her episode. But 4.5 minutes in, I'm here to talk to you all about my book, Pete Chatmon, Transitions, A Director's Journey, and Motivational Handbook. And this is something that I wrote over the pandemic. For those that are listening to the podcast, I held it up for the camera here. It's got a picture of me in the middle of the street at Broadway and 28th from a trip back to New York in 2017, and my buddy Eric Van Selden took this photo. So much love to the gang. But the book is a culmination of everything I've learned since first picking up a camera in 1993. You know, I graduated from NYU with a short film that went to Sundance and about 30 festivals worldwide. It starred Kerry Washington, which is, again, another nice round robin, full circle moment with what's going on with my current show that I'll be working on. But, you know, there was no real blueprint for what I wanted to do, especially as a Black filmmaker, storyteller. We all look to Spike, but a lot of what Spike has done is at the superhero level. And there weren't many folks that looked like me in TV. There weren't many folks that probably look like many of the people listening to this podcast that were working in TV. And so, you know, every step of the way, I was trying to figure out how to make it happen and make it work and make it survive and make money. The making money part didn't happen for 15 plus years, but the craft got better. And so I look at that, you know, time of going from Sundance to working at NYU in a staff position for 10 years to transitioning to teaching at NYU through the back door because of all the other work that I was doing outside of the university and my staff position, to growing a production company, running a podcast where I interviewed many people that led to future jobs, including Issa Rae back in 2011, which, you know, is probably in no small part of the journey that led to my 2017 Due North directing of the Show Within a Show in season 2. And so my whole thing is that I was always wanting to have something that would be a resource for others and would be the resource that I was always kind of looking for myself. And so I hope I've done that with Transitions, A Director's Journey, and Motivational Handbook. It's broken down into three different acts, the setup, the confrontation, and the resolution. So it's very much designed in the hero's journey style of a classical Hollywood narrative. And there are 14 chapters. There are 5 chapters in Act 1, 5 chapters in Act 2, 5 chapters in Act 4, and with each chapter I provide a keyword that sums up the lessons that I learned at that stage in my life, and I also provide you with worksheets and hot tips and advice on how you might be able to go after whatever creative pursuit it is that you're targeting. Obviously, it might speak more directly to directors, but it really is for everybody. The book was initially called How to Succeed as a Creative Professional, and you know, I had to get more strategic with my marketing, but in my heart, I feel this book is for any creative person. The foreword is generously written by my man Kenya Barris, who was the first person to hire me for an episode of television, which is amazing. And I'm really, really, really proud of the book. The last thing I'll add is I have something called the How I Did It section. And in that section, I take some of the best tips from 10 different podcast guests on Let's Shoot with Pete Chatmon, and all directors, of course. And those folks include Matthew A. Cherry, Romany Malco, Seeth Mann, Rob McElhenney, Molly McGlynn, Keith Powell, Millicent Shelton, Michael Spiller, Zinga Stewart, and Anu Valia. So that's the book, y'all, and I really do hope you'll support it. I feel like I should give you something on the way out. I don't want to be the only one talking here, so I will give you 3 of the quotes that are on the back cover, and with that, I'll close it out. First quote: "There is a reason why everyone who works with Pete falls in love with his work. The lessons he imparts here are invaluable. Do yourself a favor and read it cover to cover." That's from Greg Berlanti, writer, director, producer of The Flight Attendant, Love, Simon, Supergirl, Free Guy. He's got the most shows on network television at any one time for, I think, the past 4 years. Second quote: "This business has everything to do with preparation and expectations. Transitions, grounds, lessons, and reality while empowering our artistry to run free. Not an easy balance to execute." And that's from Jesse Williams, an actor, director, producer. Many of you know from Grey's Anatomy and Little Fires Everywhere. And he's also got a play coming out on Broadway called Take Me Out. Coming up on Broadway called Take Me Out, that should be opening in the first quarter of 2022. And lastly is Pete's sharing gold nuggets that will spare you a ton of wasted time and help you channel your drive, talent, and ambition in the most productive way. That's from Sarah Gamble, co-creator, showrunner, You and the Magicians. So that's what some other people are saying about the book. I hope you will support, download. I hope you'll keep me updated as to how it may enhance your own journey with the hashtag Transitions by Pete Chatmon. And we look forward to bringing you another episode 30, which will be with Crystal Clear Roberson. She is the co-executive producer and director on ABC's Queens, and she's directed episodes of All American, Greenleaf, and much, much more. And we get into a good conversation about what it's like to transition from being a guest director to someone who's part of the executive production team and seeing the vision of the show through episode after episode. So as always, y'all, stay safe, spread love, and keep creating, and have a happy, safe new year. Let's close out 2021 and step into 2022 with prosperous thoughts, and let's kill it, y'all. Much love. What's up, people? This is Pete Chatmon. Follow me on Instagram and on Twitter via @PeteChatmon. Follow the pod on Facebook on our Let's Shoot with Pete Chatmon official page, and hit up our mailbag with questions, suggestions, or hey, donations if you're feeling like it, via Let's Shoot with Pete Chatmon @gmail.com. And just in case you need to know how to spell it, that's Pete with the last name CHATMON.